Yo, what's up? What's up, Ernesto? How are you, man? Good to hear from you. I don't think I'll get too many people listening to this stream or tuning in, but I wanted to sort of jump on and talk about what happened. What the hell happened, man? Bit of a sell-off. Bit of a Bitcoin sell-off. That's good to hear, dude. Good to hear. Might see if a couple more people can jump on. There's 2 of you so far. 3 people. What's up? It's nice and early. It's like, what is it, 6:26 a.m. New York time? Wakey wakey. The market is alive. Alright, the main thing I really just wanted to jump on and talk about is, as scary as it's been to see like a flash wick, like a sell-off that rapid, I don't think it's much to be concerned about, to be honest. So let's try to gauge from top to bottom, like from the top of the very highest point to the extreme bottom. Like, why, like, how savage was it? It was a 9.62% correction from the tippy top to the bottom of the flash crash, if you will. Oh, DC Woodworking, good morning. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. So a 9.6, not even 10% pullback. Is that not uncommon in an uptrend for Bitcoin? Let's have a look. Let's look at some other moments that Bitcoin shook out some trading. I mean, look at these ones. These ones that we've had in the past. 22% correction in an uptrend. The whole thing's a bull market, right? This, what's this one? From here to here, 20%. From here all the way down to here, 21%. Even this one over here, I mean, this was a little slower. It happened over a series of days, but that went down 8%. So, look, it's not that dramatic. It's not that bad, honestly. I think everyone's kind of freaking out over nothing, really. The only moment that I would get concerned with this move down is if that it was followed by a series of lower highs on a smaller time frame. So let's see if we can gauge a similar kind of moment in the market. Was probably 2019 when Bitcoin rallied up at the back of a bear market. So here was the bear market. Here was the relief rally that took it up to 14,000. So if the drop that we just saw in a flash was, let's give it the benefit of the doubt and say it was 10% of a flash, like wick down. What are these? What are these worth? This one was 16%. This moved down here. 16.91%, so that's bigger. This one here, from here down to here, 15%. Let's see what this was from here down to here. That was 5, so not quite as big, but you can see what I'm getting at. It's along the way, there's gonna be pullbacks. It doesn't just go vertical, although moments in the chart will seemingly just go up without a pullback. But let me find some more examples of how volatile the market can get in an uptrend. Like right here. So we were very much into the bull trend. Look at that, a 17% correction in 2 days. Right there. Here's a bit of a pullback here. That's 10%, so that's roughly the same gauge of a pullback that we've had just today, or the last few hours. Look how savage it got up here. Like even before this high here, there was a sell-off here, and check it out. So there was the top, and here was the bottom of that. That was almost, it was basically 19%, almost 20% drop in the space of 2 days, within 48 hours. Another push up. This was a much larger, like played out move down correction, 31% correction. During a bull trend, during a bull market. So way bigger than what we've just witnessed or what we've just experienced. Let me jump onto the index chart for Bitcoin as well. And we'll zoom out and hide all these drawings. Can you see, like, especially if I turn on the logarithmic view, that little blip is the pullback that we've just felt. Look at the other uptrends. Look at the pullbacks they get during the way up, like along the way up there. They're all over the place. Look at this. This was a bull market that went from, say, mid to late 2015 all the way up to the end of 2017. So like 3 years almost. Almost a 3-year bull trend, 2.5 years. Look at the drops along the way. Look at the pullbacks that happened. The steps down. These weren't small. These were big steps down. Let's measure them. So that went down almost, well, basically 40% if you take it right to the very bottom of the wick. Let's measure this one. This was another one that happened. That was 35%. This one here, this is back when Bitcoin was a lot more volatile. 33% flush. Here's another one up here. 39% up here. You get the idea. 30-40% was not uncommon during the bull market here. There was a big flush out here, 29%. It's just insane, like how big these corrections were along the path. So that, hopefully that puts it into perspective for you guys, that what we've just felt is nothing too out of the ordinary during an uptrend. So that's the bigger perspective. That's the macro kind of view of what's going on right now. We're still dealing with this 50% retracement from all-time high to the FTX low. So on the recovery back to that high, we're still dealing with the halfway point. We've had a bit of a taste of what it's like above the halfway point, but you know, dancing around it isn't, I don't think it's too unlike Bitcoin to do something like that, you know? Especially with such a key Fibonacci test. I still think this zone is on the cards, 48 to 50,000. I can still see, you know, us rallying up over time to get there. You know, whether we get a bigger flush down, like that could also happen. You know, if we come back and back test this fib level and see if it's going to hold as support. That's the 382 at 35,900. Or, you know, maybe it even goes even deeper than that and tests these highs. And that would be a much more healthy, you know, test of market structure, because that level there is very key, 31,000 or just below 32k. So yep, that wouldn't be too bad. You might notice that in a previous stream I was highlighting how the start of this bull run looks similar to the previous cycle back here with the square, with the boxes. So check out these boxes. Does that look familiar? So the characteristics of these boxes is that you establish the support, you come up and establish the high, you hit the high, you hit the high, you hit the support, you hit the high again, you break it. Next range is established, you hit the high, you hit the support, you hit the high, you feel out the supports again. This one was actually quite bullish because it only needed to test the support once, and it already made a higher low here and a series of higher lows as it climbed up. So that was a nice ascending triangle, which is very similar to what we just came out of on Bitcoin when we crushed 38,000 resistance. We got through it. Next range came up. Look at this correction. Very savage. Came all the way down to the top of the previous consolidation box. Very deep correction, but it wasn't enough to stop the trend. The overall trend was completely fine, not a problem. Here's another range here. This one was a bit more of a mess, but you can see how savage the zigzag is within that box. So if we go to the current time, what have we got? The bottom of this box is way down. Like, it's way down here at 32,000. So the fact that I mean, there's still a lot to play out, but I think if we're calling this the top of the range, then that's fine. There's no problem with that. But we just need to see how this behaves, like if it's going to pull up somewhere before continuing, or whether we see a deeper correction down to this 382 level, or the top of the previous range, which is 31, 32k. The fact that we've bought back up as rapidly as we have, we sort of bounced pretty hard so far. That's an interesting sort of thing to note. Like, money has flown back in, it's flowed back in, it's got us back above the 0.54 now. We're going to see if we can establish a continuation from here, or whether, you know, okay, the short-term structure to the upside has been lost, so it's like a momentary downtrend, I guess you could say. Like, we've got the last line of support was here. This was the last line of defense on the shorter time frames. So we lost that. So we've changed the character to a downtrend. However, we need to see if it's going to be followed up by a continuation. And that continuation line is right here. That low there needs to get beaten again to establish this as a downtrend. So I'll draw that out and show you what that looks like. It would be something like this. Like we would need to continue breaking supports to the downside. So we've had a change of character, but we haven't had a break of structure just yet on that sort of 1 hour time frame, I would say. So we're still trying to see what this is going to produce. It's still early. Just like a lot of you guys, I'm also, most people are pretty confused about what's next. Like what the hell's, where do we stand now? Like, is this the start of a bigger correction, or are we soon to get back on track with going up overall? So, guess that's yet to be seen, but it's cool to see that price has bounced as heavy as it has. And we can do a Fibonacci retracement now. Now that we know where our high is, our tippy top is here, and our low is right there, our tippy bottom. Tippy top and tippy bottom? I don't know. How would you say that? So let's do a Fib retracement. So here's our all-time high, or our yearly high rather, sorry. Here's our flash crash low. And if I just hide the other fibs so that we can see this one better. Okay. So we haven't quite come up to correct or to recover 50% of this sell-off yet. But we've managed to get back up over the 38% recovered level. So yeah, we've got some work to do. If we're going to try and continue up, there's a whole bunch of hurdles to get back through now. Lots of leverage in the market. Yes, no doubt about it. Tino's good morning. What's up, Serrano? It's going to the right. Yeah. Yeah. Ernesto says, Tame said, start of bear market. I'm happy to see some red so I can reposition. Are you planning any buys, or are you holding through? I'm currently completely out of all positions. I managed to snag a short on Solana from roughly, let's see, I got pretty lucky with it actually. I wrote it from about here. I opened a short somewhere in this region, and then I closed it about halfway down, so about here. Kind of wish I held it a bit longer. It only took a few more seconds to get it all the way down here. But yeah, that's all good. Yeah, damn. What a rebound. Look at that violent rebound that Solana had. It almost fully recovered the drop. But then it slumped back into this area. So, let's see. So yeah, that's kind of all I really wanted to cover so far. It was just to document that we've fallen out of this consolidation box up here. We were trying to hold it, but the support broke and we've come down, so that's all good. There's a bit of a, there's an order block basically that lives here, and I think this is pretty much what probably held us up, and we're sort of like trying to sit on top of that block now, trying to establish support on it so that we can climb higher. But yeah, we'll see if this is the start of the end or the beginning of a further uptrend. This is this was the opportunity so many people were like hoping for. People that weren't long, that were in this area, were probably hoping for some kind of move down to buy in and get long. So could this be it? Could this be the move down? Is this as deep? Is this as deep as it goes? Look at the length of that wick there. And what does that tell you? That's buy pressure. That is buy pressure right there. So a hell of a lot of money, a hell of a lot of orders went off to clear all of the selling that happened here. And it was bought up quite rapid. So, and now we're sort of like just sitting in this area. Everything is sort of somewhat calmed down. And we're back to our status quo, like, you know, level of volatility. I'm going to chuck on the volume wicks because I just want to see how much volume was involved with that drop. Okay. I'm going to make these a bit brighter. Maybe a lot brighter. Okay. So, can you see the amount of volume that was involved with pumping us up to these levels? This sell-off was a little less volume than this move up here. So, although it's big and impressive, there was still, look at the amount, and look, a consistent amount of volume has stepped in to recover to the level it has. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see if we can keep climbing. It's a very difficult part of the chart to predict what happens next. Maybe I'm going to pose the question to you guys. Do you think or I'll say, what happens next for Bitcoin? This will be a poll. Not many people in, 15 people. It's a very unusual time for me to stream. Recover and continue uptrend, or crash further, or yeah, crash / correct. All right, let's see what you guys think. Cast your votes. Let me know what you reckon. What happens next for Bitcoin? Are we going to recover and continue the uptrend, or have we got like more of a crash to come? Do you think we're going to crash further from here? Interesting. 4 people have voted. 50-50 chance. Maybe I'll leave that up there for a little bit. Let's see if we get a bit more of a majority. I mean, look at the broader picture. If you jump out to the 4-hour chart, can you see the trend? Can you see how we've been trending? If you go onto the daily chart, I think the structure is important to look at. Let me just hide this TA and this retracement. I'll delete it actually. Okay. I'll hide the volume as well. So let's get some perspective on this year. Okay. Here's the beginning of the year. This is pretty much where the trend started, roughly. Let me change the color of this as well. This is a bit off-putting. I'll just make it white, that's fine. Okay, so here's the beginning of the year. This is a move up roughly to here. And I'm just going to smooth this out like this is roughly how it's been higher lows, double bottom, if not technically slightly higher low, higher high, another higher low here, and then a high, and then we've just started another low. So really, the last point of structure that we have is roughly here. Like for this time frame, I would say, the way I've been drawing this trend. So that's about $35,000 we'll call it. I think for us to break this uptrend, Bitcoin would need to come down and break below 35K. And that for me would change the character of this overall uptrend this year. There's not long left of this this year, to be honest. There's like, what is there, 20 days? 20 days left. So a lot can happen in 20 days, but this is the last point that we have on that path. So it's still very much alive. The trend is still very much up. The fact that we've pumped from here all the way up to here without really looking back too much, that affords us a big drop before we ruin this uptrend. Like, this is not that significant, I think, as a drop. So we got 6 votes, 50-50. Yeah, not too much enlightenment there. 50-50. Yeah, 9.85%. It's a $4,400 drop though, so that's kind of a big deal. But I mean, how many dollars was this drop? 6,700. 6,000. This correction over here. 5,600. Yeah. Even this, like over here, this volatility from here to down here was 3,150. Yeah. No biggie. I honestly don't think it was that big of a deal. It's probably just enough of a move to liquidate all of the late longs that came in. Yes, we've got CPI data on Tuesday and also the federal funds rate coming up. So that is the 13th of December, Wednesday the 13th of December for me. See, this will be different depending on your time zone, but yeah, that's right around the corner. That's the next major thing on the calendar, is the CPI and funds rate. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a pause, and the CPI is going to be roughly, I think, you know, what we're getting anyway, like low threes, like 3.1% is the forecast for the year-over-year inflation rate. So yeah, we'll see what that spits out. Now, right now, the S&P 500 is down in pre-market. So this is where we close on Friday. And we're looking for that Monday open, which opens in about 2 hours and 36 minutes. So there's still a long time until, it's still a little bit before we get that stock market New York session started up. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Probably gonna wrap it up here. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully this update has helped you. You know, what I've thought, what I've had to say has given you a bit of perspective. Zooming out always helps to sort of to try and ease your panic if you're panicked. yeah, that's pretty much it. All right. Have a good day, guys. If you're in the US, it looks like most people roughly think that we're going to get a recovery and continue going up. Only 57% though, so it's not a landslide, but yeah, interesting. Only 7 people voted though, so all good. Yeah, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next stream. Hopefully there's more interesting things to talk about. All right, see ya.